Ooh. Hey you. Yes, you. Have you ever tried starting something new except that you got distracted, you got too busy with other things, life got in the way, and you realized that you actually never even started it? And you look back a couple of years later and think about how things would have been different if you had started it. Well, if this sounds anything like you, then this video is just for you. Today I'm going to tell you why you need to start a YouTube channel. And without further ado, let's go straight into it. The first reason why you should start a YouTube channel today is because it is a great way to share your ideas, your experiences with other people, and also use your experience to encourage and uplift other people who need that advice. If you're someone who thinks, I don't have a lot of experience, I don't have a lot of, knowledge, I just want to challenge that idea and say what you may think is really obvious to yourself may not necessarily be obvious information for other people. And because for you, you have learned your knowledge and your wisdom, you have gained your experience through many years of trial and error, the other person who's going through the thick of it may not have that insight and information because they're still going through it. And by you stepping up and being a little bit vulnerable, really just being willing to share your story could benefit more people than you think. I didn't have a very strong mentors when I was growing up, but looking back, I realized I would have benefited so much from having someone that I can kind of bounce off ideas and have that conversation, gain more insights into their life experiences so that I can make better decisions. That is one of the main reasons why I started the channel in the first place, because I wanted to use this as a medium to build other people up, to encourage other people. I always think when I'm making my videos, even if my video can help one person, if it can make an impact on that one person, then I am content with that, because I know that I'm not just doing this for the views. I'm not just doing this for subscriber count, even though it'd be so nice if you can hit the like and subscribe. I would not be opposed to that idea, but still a lot of it comes down to really wanting to make an impact on another person's life. All right, so the next point you should consider as to why you should start a YouTube channel is to overcome fear of judgment. Now, this fear can take many different forms. It could be a fear of starting something new. It could be a fear of judgment. It could be a fear of people. It could even be a fear of being known. And fear of being known is just as much of a fear as fear of being unknown. Before starting this YouTube channel, I feared being unknown, but I also feared being known because when I was growing up, I moved around a lot. So every time I went to a new environment, I sort of had to morph myself and change my personality. My identity got evolved a lot in each new environment. And in some ways, I think I kind of feared being known as who I was. I realized that was affecting my authenticity and my way of just being who I am. But then what you realize is that when you're being authentic, when you stop caring so much about what people think about you and you are free to be yourself, what's really amazing is that people who like you for your authenticity and people who appreciate your uniqueness, your idiosyncrasies, they will actually like you for all the things that make you who you are. So people who don't really like you for who you are aren't going to like you anyways, even if you don't try to be yourself. Needless to say, your existence and the way you are, it should not change depending on other people's validations. So by having a YouTube channel, it's a great way to just show the world who you are. I know that's really much easier said than done, because some people can be very negative and very judgmental, but also know that there will be people who like you for who you are. There will be people who appreciate and value your being as a person, your personality. In order to find the people, you gotta actually put yourself out there. I know a lot of people have social anxiety. They may have, fear of judgment if you have history of rejection in the past. But doing YouTube is a great way to put yourself out there and to practice that over and over again until you become much better at dealing with that kind of judgment. Now, the next reason why you should consider starting a YouTube channel is because it is like taking on more meaningful risks in life. Imagine reverse engineering your life. You're on your deathbed, you lived a good life, and you just keep thinking about, what if I had started my YouTube channel? Like, how would have my life changed? And who knows, it might have changed, it might have not changed much, but you will not find out unless you actually give it a try. The only way to find out if something would have worked or not is if you have actually taken the chance to just do it. This isn't the first time I started a YouTube channel. In fact, I started my first channel all the way back in 2017, and I was really interested in minimalism at the time, which I still am. My very first video, I put my sweat and effort into it. I made the video, I uploaded it, and it had around 400 views over time. But at the time, I thought that wasn't good enough, and I was really embarrassed of potentially someone that I know finding out about my channel and judging me for making videos on minimalism. So I actually turned the video to private and never looked back. But now that I think about it, what if I had continued? What if I had overcame the initial fear of being judged by someone that I know? It would have been 8 years of progress. And looking back at the time, I felt that I couldn't make videos unless I figured my life out. I thought I needed to have all my ducks in a row and figure out life. Even though I did have opinions and ideas that I wanted to share with the world, I let just the fear get in the way, and I didn't take the risk of potentially being judged by some people that I know. If I had not stopped, I would have had much more videos, and I would have had many more practices to prepare me to be a better YouTuber, to prepare me to make better videos. But I stopped because I feared other people's judgment more. Taking on more risk for yourself means reverse engineering your life and looking at where you are today from a point of view from your future self, and making decisions based on what your future self would appreciate more. What would your 80-year-old self be telling you today? Alright, so the next reason is it's a great way to foster a new community and find your tribe of people. What I mean by that is in our day-to-day life, it's really hard to meet people organically, people that you clicked with and people who you connect with on a deeper level. That kind of connection is far and few in between. But when you expose yourself, when you expose who you are and kind of share about your ideas to a wider audience on a platform like YouTube, your reach can go much further than the kind of people that you can meet on a day-to-day basis. Here's an example. Let's say you're a Japanese guy who was born and raised in Japan, but you are so deeply fascinated and interested in Scandinavian novels. In your day-to-day, it's probably going to be a little difficult to find other Japanese people that you connect with on that level who's also like, hey, I also love this author Johannesburg. But if you post on YouTube, if you create your own channel and let's say you start writing about or talking about different Scandinavian novels that you read, your analysis on them, eventually you're going to attract people who are also interested in Scandinavian novels. And that's a really great way to build your own community and a very proactive way of finding people who value the same things that you value, who are interested in similar things that you are. You know, I think it's one of our greatest innate human nature. We crave deeper connection with other people. We crave to be known, and we also want to know other people. It's innately in us. So the more niche of a topic that you are interested in, or the more you are surrounded by people who you don't think they really understand you, the more of a great reason to start a YouTube channel. Because while those people around you may not really understand you, even if they may be your close family or close friends, you guys might share similar values, but you guys may have totally different interests. But by sharing about those things on YouTube, you can attract a group of people who also love what you do. Next reason why you should start is because it's a great way to share about your personal values and your faith. Now, I can only speak for myself in this regard, but as someone who is a follower of Jesus and I love God. And I have been following the Lord for a few years at this point, and it's one of the most important values in my life. And having a platform where I can not only talk about, different various topics that are important in my life, but also talk about my faith journey, and how God has been such a faithful father to me in my life. And hopefully by sharing my stories, if other people can be curious about who God is and curious about the Christian faith, I think there's not many things that are more valuable than that. So I don't know about you, it could be, different faith, it could be different values that you hold dear to your heart. But if there is something like a strong value that you believe in, that you center your life around, I think having a YouTube channel and having a platform could be a really great way to share about your beliefs and your values. Final reason why you should start is because it's a great way to stay disciplined and test your limits. For myself, I told myself that I'm going to make at least one video a week for the next 3 months or so. And I know that doesn't seem like a long time, but as someone who has commitment issues, I think one video a week for 3 months sounds like a pretty big commitment. Anyways, the reason why you should start a YouTube video is because it's a great way to build some kind of consistency in your life. And especially if you're someone who struggles with having discipline and being consistent with things that you start, even just in your mind, having this kind of promise to yourself, like, I'm going to make one video every week, no matter how crappy they are. I mean, the better if they're better quality. No matter how crappy they are, I'm gonna use this as practice. I'm going to build consistency, and by doing that, not only you become more disciplined person, it's gonna have a synergetic effect, because the more you make promises to yourself and you keep those promises, the more you're going to be able to trust yourself and your ability, and then it's going to help you become more confident. And then when you become more confident, your audience is going to appreciate you more, they're going to like you more, because you're just someone who's more confident. To go off of that, I want to also test my limits. I used to have a lot of limiting beliefs about myself. I would think, oh, I can't do that because, I'm not qualified enough. Oh, I can't do that because I don't have the right equipment or the right gears. Oh, I can't do that, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. But really, overthinking is not going to serve you well in your life anyways. So by doing something that you are actually afraid of, and the only way to break out of the fear is to just go through it, is to literally jump off the cliff. No, jump off the cliff, please. Don't actually, that's just metaphorically speaking. But the only way to actually break out of fear is to just go through it. So you just gotta do it. And the more you do things that make you uncomfortable, the better you will get at overcoming those things. If you are someone who also thinks, hey, green tea sister, I also want to break out of my limiting beliefs. I have a lot of limiting beliefs that I have imposed on myself that I believed for years. I want to tell you, you are so capable. I mean, honestly, these days, if you just have an iPhone and a microphone and have a good idea, you can write a script, all these things, you can get started wherever you are. I cannot promise you that you will blow up, but what I can promise you is that if you start, it will take you somewhere. And that is really the best part of this adventure, is that it is an adventure. You'll find out where you go, but you gotta put in the work to find out where you will end up. Just go do it, okay? Okay? I'm gonna check on you, and we'll talk again.